Welcome back, guys, to the review show, and instead I'm going to change it up a little bit since the past two videos that I've done, and I'm going to review a Tech Zone video called Amazing Futuristic Weapons that are on another level. Let's go into it. I can't wait to see that gun. That Schiss. In airsoft, it's probably illegal because there's no blind firing, but it's kind of a different thing when you're in war.
Double-barrel Glock 17 and 18C.
First of all, Glock 17 and 18Cs are fully and semi-automatic. And from what it looks like is they just strap two guns together and designed them so that they can shoot right next to each other. I don't see the practical use for this at all. I do support civilians owning guns. I just don't think that we should be using automatic guns, especially in pistols. They don't hold a lot of they don't have a very low magazine storage. It doesn't seem practical at all.
Just by looking at this gun,
look at how that moves. It doesn't shoot good at all. And from what it looks like, the person who's doing this is their hands jolting back, which means that either this is a super hard shooting Glock, or they've got a really bad wrist. And from what I'm guessing, it just means it's a really heavy Glock, a really kickback Glock.
It's clear why it's featured in our video. The reason lies in its unique design. These gas pistols are designed using a lot of patented elements.
Oh, wait a second.
Looking at this gun, these gas pistols...
Oh, the BB guns. Makes sense. Now I understand why these things... I had a strange feeling that these weren't a real firearm that shoots real bullets. I understand that they use BB bullets now. BB bullets for this gun. 310 FPS. That's pretty good with 0.2 BBs using Neutral 2.0 gas. I haven't used Neutral. I use usually CO2 or green gas because I do airsoft. But so it just looks pretty cool in general. I understand now. I wish that they said that in the beginning because I got the impression that these were real guns, which I wouldn't see as a practical thing at all.
Pistols are designed using a lot of patented elements. For example, a double frame, a double barrel, a double trigger, and more.
So it's basically right. They just strapped two Glocks. They just took a 3D what is it called? A 3D website, app, whatever, and they took off the side of the one side of the Glock. They took another gun, took off the opposite side, and they put them together, and yeah, and it looks like they just combined. And now they're basically the same thing, just together. And I'm like, all I'm thinking about is how stupid this is. I don't see any point of using a... First of all, I don't see BB guns as being that useful, unless you're hunting. That's it. In hunting, it's a different story. But just to have it's like those people, they'll buy toys and not use them. It doesn't seem that interesting to me. But yeah, they look cool. It'd be cool to shoot one, just I don't see the practical use for it.
The caliber of both models is 6mm. The double magazine holds 50 rounds of ammunition, 25 on each side.
I wouldn't have said that like that. I would have said 25 rounds on each side and 50 rounds in total in the gun. I wouldn't have said 50 rounds in total, 50 rounds, 25 in each side, because 50 rounds and 25 in each side mean different things. So you're kind of switching. And I wish he said 50 rounds in total. That would have helped a lot.
The only difference between the double-barrel Glock 17 and 18C is that the first gun fires only in semi-automatic mode. The second
That explains a lot. It's just polymer bodies too, and metal top slides. Yeah, that's normal. I hope that they make a full metal one. But yeah, that makes sense. It's just the slide. It doesn't seem like practical to put them together and use one semi-automatic and the other not.
second gun can be switched to fully automatic mode as well. Hikvision Drone Defender. Statistics show that the number of drones worldwide has more than tripled in the last 5 or 6 years. This applies to the use of both industrial and amateur drones. And while some people are having fun recording beautiful views with their drone, others are trying to figure out how not to let these drones in places where they should not fly. Hikvision is a Chinese company that manufactures and sells a variety of surveillance equipment. Its specialists have come up with a way to safely remove a drone from an unwanted zone, or at least force it to land. The product comes in 2 models. The first device is operated manually. You have to take it in your hands, turn it on, and then aim it at the drone flying nearby.
That doesn't seem that practical. I would think of honestly, if I was a company and I was having a problem with this on a larger scale, I'd want something more automated. Because I wouldn't want, have to go outside, take it down, go out, walk and get it, and then bring it back. It just doesn't seem like something I would want. I'd want something that, you got a person on the computer, they got the radar, they tap it, it locks on, tricks it, brings it back, and then you can go outside, pick it up, and go back inside, and then do whatever. But that seems more of a practical use than having to use it manually. It'd also be cool if this came in a gun.
It's noteworthy that there are 2 modes of operation. In the first mode, the device suppresses the signal coming from the operator's remote control. Almost all modern drones behave similarly in this situation.
By modern, they mean expensive and newer drones, because I have a cheaper drone, and it doesn't have a GPS. Most drones don't. It's just very expensive ones, like the Parrots. That's what they're called, but yeah, most cheap drones that people would use wouldn't have a GPS in it.
They return to the starting point using GPS coordinates. This is how the drone leaves the unwanted zone. In the second mode, not only the signal from the remote control is silenced, but also the satellite signal. In that case, the drone is just forced to land. The operating principle of the second model is the same. The only difference is that it doesn't need a person to work. The system detects the drone itself and then forces it to land or go back to its owner.
So one of the things I see that they just said is that you don't need to be very accurate, just grabs and locks on us. And so I'm thinking, so they couldn't amplify it to a very large area so that whenever an unsuspecting drone or illegal drone comes in, they could just grab it and put it down. It just doesn't seem practical that you'd have to make it more precise, and why can't you just do it very widespread?
Hikvision has created the Drone Defender to effectively protect airports, prisons.
See, guns are better. I would rather wear the extra backpack and use the gun than use that little paddle that looks like a cricket paddle.
Sports event arenas and other places where drones are not allowed. Tracking point rifles. In 2012, the precision-guided firearms system was introduced to the world for the first time, and expectations were high. Specialists of the American company.
First of all, that looks amazing, especially with the guided trigger. It just looks cool. I love their intro to it. and I will discuss my point of view in the guns towards the end of the video, or towards the end of this tech tech piece. I'll say it before the video ends or at the end of the video. And just giving you a warning, this probably will be a two parts, because I can't go over 15 minutes because I was one of the unlucky few that had a problem with my YouTube channel piece, and the verification doesn't work to let me do over 15 minutes of video. So yeah, I'm just gonna watch, and I'll tell you when I'm gonna stop, and I'll tell you which tech I'm gonna stop at.
Tracking points managed to create a smart aiming system, which potentially should have taken weapons to a whole new level. And indeed, a few years later, a small arms complex created on the basis of this innovative system.
I like their classic video game look, because one of the things I like about the scope is that it's got like a bunch of stuff. It's got the yards and the miles per hour you're moving at, but it just doesn't seem that practical to have all that stuff. All I would need is yards, battery power. It's like, even at the bottom, I don't know if you could see it, my mouse, it's right here on the center. It gives you the time. Why would you need the time or the date? And why would you need the temperature? I can see some stuff with the temperature according to what type of gun it is, and the point if the bullets need a certain temperature. But why would you need like time and date? It just doesn't seem practical.
Was shown. Today, a rifle with smart aim can be ordered by anyone with a corresponding permit. However, it will cost.
I actually disagree with that. I'll tell you why at the end of this piece.
At least $7,000.
And by the way, I'm never gonna buy this gun because, first of all, I don't support what they're trying to do for civilians, and it's $7,000 is way out of my price range.
Nevertheless, this price is more than justified. Among amateurs, these arms are considered controversial. Some even say that PGF rifles are for cheaters.
I agree with that.
Because the aiming system is very complex. By the way, that's why it's so expensive. Amazingly, the system itself determines the position of the target and the distance to do it in an extremely precise way. Calculation of corrections required for error-free shooting is done automatically. The system includes 2 video cameras with a set of specialized filters, laser ranging device, screen and sensors. The built-in computer manages to collect information about the surrounding conditions, such as the speed and direction of wind, temperature and pressure. All the shooter needs to do is point the weapon at the target, acquire it, get corrections from the system and then pull the trigger. It's almost impossible to miss.
So now I'm gonna explain to you, and I'm sorry, but this is the end of the first half of this video. So what I was gonna say is that I support having guns. It's one of the laws that I've always learned that is useful and should be held and is part of our rights. But I don't think that we need we need fully automatic guns. And you don't need an extended magazine. And why would you need something that gives you automatic aiming? It is extremely unuseful to me for a civilian, and the only time I would use it is if I was in an airsoft game. But I do support it, and I don't think that this should be used as a civilian gun. But I do think that this is a very cool gun, and I would so love to try it out. So, thank you. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you for part 2. Bye.